Hi everyone, welcome back to 7chambers. So today I actually wanted to discuss some of the differences between a couple of the Luke Hero hilts that are out there. Two of the more prominent ones. So today I want to talk about the Ultimate Works Hero V1, which will come in this box here, and then the 7chambers Magic of Myth, or MoM, by 7chambers and Veracity Labs. So first of all, first things first is going to be the box that they come in, right? Ultimate Works sabers come in these. It says Custom Saber, Ultimate Works, Collector's Edition. You open it up and you've just got a bunch of foam inserts holding it in, accessories to the end of the box. A pretty standard box. Comes with most of their hilts. I know their new Dark Ray did not come with that box because it was bigger, right? So it came with a bigger box. Depends on the hilt you get. Some of them come with those boxes. Most of them do come with that smaller box there. And then the 7chambers is going to come with this box, right? It's pretty neat box, fancy box. Got logos, information about the people involved in the project, and then you open it up and of course you've got various necks, pommels, emitter pieces, clamp cards, that kind of stuff. So that's just kind of the, not right out of the box, before it's out of the box. And I'm going to kind of go into some of the differences in the hilts themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those and be right back. All right, so I've got the sabers, got them out, and we're going to go ahead and take a look. So first one I'm going to show is going to be in the same order. I've got the Ultimate Works Luke Hero. Go ahead and kind of get a close-up of that. You've got let's see if I can get it to show on the camera. The clamp card here, it may look black in these stripes, but in the light it is a reflected blue color. But my powerful light in the room kind of making it hard to see that blue, I think. But it is the correct sort of black looking blue. Got your two arrows there, your activation switch, your triangle ring, grenade section, the emitter. This is the blade plug. You do have here and here, you do have exposed retention screws. I know some people aren't big fans of those. I believe on the prop there are actually some retention screws in those 90-degree locations. So it's not such a big deal, I don't think. Trying to see what else of note that there is. This is a neat detail. On the box where the arrows are, this actually is a different plate, right? So they've installed like a plate over the box, which is correct, and you've got the two little screws there. It comes with a vented pommel. It also comes with a static pommel. And I think that's kind of everything for that one on its own. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the 7chambers here. Now this one is right out of the box. It's heavier, and that's because it's got a steel insert in the neck, so that if you wanted to duel with it, which most folks wouldn't dare, but theoretically that would help the neck from bending, and really even just for general use, for swinging and stuff. The metal neck is going to help protect things. So here's the neck, and so all of this out here, like this is real copper, and it actually came with 3 necks. So it came with a copper neck, it came with a brass neck, and it came with an aluminum neck. And the aluminum you'd paint brown. I think the general color accepted by the community is the Ace Hardware spray paint brand, rustic gold, or I think it's antique gold. Creates that sort of like brownish, copperish painted look that the Magic of Myth prop had. So probably not going to do a full assembly, more of a comparison in this video, but I'm just going to show this here first. So I don't have the card installed in here yet. This is just empty right now, but I do have the card, and it's, again, it looks very good, and it's actually a kind of oxidized copper material. The copper has sort of oxidized on its own, which is a really neat look. Let's see, got the pommel. The pommel actually will unscrew like that, but it also will just come undone from the cap here. And I think that's pretty much everything. You've got a static one that I've got on here now, and then the vented one is actually hidden venting, and it's gorgeous. You look at it and it looks like this. It's awesome. So just kind of comparing them a little bit, we'll start at the top. The very first thing at the top is the little sort of nub at the top. On the Ultimate Works, it is taller. It is a blade plug, whereas this one is part of a static emitter top. So you would unscrew that and then screw back in the top with the hole in it for your blade. But this is super accurate, so that means that this, being a little taller, isn't so much accurate. It's a really, really small difference, and really looking at it, you can tell that it's not just because the blade plug sticks up just a little bit. It is the metal. It's taller. But the emitters, shot for shot, are really close. I mean, the emitters are both very shallow looking. Both of them actually have a surprising amount of blade depth for being so shallow looking right through there. The biggest difference in the emitters is going to be two things. One, it's going to be the retention screws, right? So the Magic of Myth has hidden retention screws, so you unscrew this, and then you've got the hidden retention screws. This one's got your visible ones, and like I said, like there's one there, but then actually the Magic of Myth has, I don't know if you can see it there, it's got a little, it's not a screw, but it's made to look like a screw of some sort. So the actual prop, I imagine, has something there. So it's a little less obtrusive than to have the screws showing, since that is sort of a sort of accuracy to the prop. Although I don't know if the 290-degree ones are actually accurate, but the one at least is. Then you kind of look at the bottom here, and you can see one big difference. This neck just sits flush up against this aluminum bottom of the emitter there, whereas this one actually screws in to the bottom. So it widens out a little bit. From the profile, you can't see it. Like this, you can. Not the most accurate thing in the world, but again, very minor. Not a bad look, certainly. And I imagine that was just to help the sort of structural integrity of it. Having that screw directly in there, because I know that like there have been some 89 sabers, like particularly the OWK3, the neck has some really, really thin threads, and it just is really prone to breaking. So that's probably one reason why they've chosen to kind of go with that. But either way, it's something that I noticed. It's not really a huge eyesore or anything like that. Still going down the actual neck, at the top of the neck here, this is longer than this. And that's true for most of the Luke Heroes that I've looked at. So the 89, even one of the 89 Sabers versions that has this sort of darker color, it does still have the longer neck. Now in person, when you see it, it looks good. In pictures, you can kind of tell. In person, looks really good. In person next to this, still looks really good, but you can tell. This one's longer. The next thing, obviously, is going to be the color, right? This is actually copper. This is like some sort of paint or anodizing or something, or a powder coat, to make it look like it kind of reminds me of a sort of shiny version of the old Luke Skywalker Force FX, the thick neck, but the colors on it remind me of like a shinier version of that brown that's on there, sort of an idealized version. But I don't mind it. It's very pretty. When I got the hilt, I knew that it was going to be that color, and I really liked the sort of idealized feel that gave to it. So it's really not an issue. But you should know what you're kind of getting into there, as far as the accuracy goes, which, 89 sabers, theirs looks the same, so it's certainly not the most inaccurate look on the market because a lot of people are doing it. The wide section of the copper neck here is actually significantly smaller on this than this. If you look at them side by side, you can tell. Not so significant that, again, it's an eyesore, but you can tell. And I think that probably contributes to the neck up here looking a little shorter than it really is. The black sections on here are pretty much identical. Looking at them, I haven't seen any major differences. The grenade grips are going to be kind of a big difference. So on the Magic of Myth, I'll adjust here so I can show this. On the Magic of Myth, you've got your grenade grips that have the accurate rings. So they're going to be uneven. So you've got thin ring, thick ring, thin ring, thick ring, thick ring, and so on. These are all going to be thinner rings, right? The grooves here are sufficiently deep. You look at them side by side with this one, the grooves are pretty deep between the rings. But yeah, the big thing you notice on that is these rings are idealized. They're all the same. These rings are not. They're accurate. Moving further down, the box, the activation box, the railing of it is going to be kind of a gold color on this, whereas the Ultimate Works retains its copper coloring. No big difference there, really. Just it is what it is. One thing to notice is going to be on your boxes, these arrows are bigger. Side by side, these arrows are definitely bigger. Looks like also maybe the buttons are bigger. Yes, but not by a whole lot. But these arrows are certainly bigger. Other than that, the boxes are almost identical. I want to say maybe the box on the MoM is actually a little bigger, but not by a whole lot. Keep going down. The difference in finish on the MoM between the this section and then like the ring right here is pretty big, whereas this one, the finish is the same. So you get the divot there, but it's the same finish. So that's probably a little bit of an inaccuracy as well. You get the same thing down here, right? The difference in finish, all of that. When you get to the actual D-ring or the triangle ring, the positioning is proper on both of them, right? The Ultimate Works has got it just offset from the control box to the left if you're holding it. And this one does as well, right? I don't have the ring on there, but there's a cube that would take the ring. And it is offset just to the left. Let's see, looking at it here, I think I don't have the ring installed right now on this empty hilt, but I believe the ring on the Ultimate Works is actually a little big. I haven't actually compared them, but I believe I read that. So I'm going to pull out this triangle ring and just take a look. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so here is the triangle ring for the Magic of Myth, 7 chambers. And I'm going to show it here next to, right? So it's not idealized. This one's idealized. The corners are very sharp, a little bigger. This one is a little misshapen, probably as it should be, right? And a lot of people actually go so far as to really ugly up their triangle ring. You know, they make it look very rusted because that's what the prop in the Magic of Myth display had on it, right? While I am in here, I'll also pull out this clamp card. So this is what I was talking about with the kind of copper that's got a bit of an oxidization to it. But I don't think there's much else to compare between the two. Let's see here. There is the brass neck. Really, it's just a little bit lighter than the copper, not a whole lot. And then the aluminum, which is significantly lighter, but this is the one that you would paint. And then you've got just a few other little pieces in there. I'll go ahead and pull out the vented pommel, right? So you've got a ring around that middle hole, and that's kind of where your sound comes out. You can kind of see it. So that's how that works. But, you know, comparing the two hilts, they're very similar in a lot of ways. Really, the Ultimate Works is an idealized version of the hilt. It's very well constructed. It's well put together. I will say also the Ultimate Works is it also has a reveal. The box, it's got a reveal box, just like the 7chambers does. So you can flick the card up and see the mechanics under there, and like the deleted scene, you know, that this prop is from, how Luke works on it there. So just push it back in place, it's good to go. And the 7chambers does the exact same thing. Just flicks up, and you would have your Helber board under there connected to your Prophy or your CFX or your Golden Harvest or whatever. But yeah, overall, I think that's kind of the gist of the two. I'm going to go ahead and give a good side-by-side of them one more time. And overall, the Ultimate Works is just a hair shorter in height than the 7chambers, just a little bit. But it's not really any. I would also say it might be slightly in some places thinner to hold, just a little. Again, that probably comes from it being idealized versus incredibly accurate to measurements given. But I mean, they're within a sneeze, right? They're very, very close. So yeah, looking at both of them, if you're in the market for a Luke Return of the Jedi hilt, the V1, I would suggest either of them, really. Just know that if you're going with the 7chambers, you're going to have to get an installer, right? And be able to install yourself. If you go with the Ultimate Works hilt, you can buy it from Ultimate Works or from the Pach Store. You can buy it installed. So that's a nice way to avoid having to network, find an installer, and it'll probably be a little cheaper that way too. Kind of like buying the 89 sabers installed. It's a little cheaper. The installs are normally pretty basic, right? You've got your board and all your components, but you don't have things like crystal chambers or you do have fully removable chassis though, which that's a nice feature to have, really. And the chassis are interchangeable for Ultimate Works too, which is another really nice feature. So I really would recommend both of them. If you're kind of a nostalgic about the hilt and the character, and you want Luke's hilt, this is a great one, right? This is great. It looks and feels like Luke's hilt. if you are analyzing it and wanting to find things wrong with it, you will, because it's not the same as the Magic of Myth prop. But if you're looking at it and analyzing it, comparing it to the film, the deleted scene from the film, you're going to be really hard pressed to find differences between this and what you actually see on screen, because it's in the shadows. It's very brief. The lights light up. It makes the sounds, you know. But if you are really wanting the most accurate Return of the Jedi hilt that is out there, then you'll want to buy this one, because this one was made with the measurements from the Magic of Myth prop from the tour in the 90s. It's got machining errors on it that are from the prop. It's perfect, right? Perfect in every way to the prop. It's what you would want if you know, especially, I would say that if you're more of and again, your mileage may vary, but if you're wanting the hilt of the character, this is awesome. If you're wanting the hilt of the character, this is also really awesome. But this is also really awesome if you're wanting the prop that Mark used in the deleted scene, right? So maybe if you're more of a movie buff than a Star Wars fan, or more of a behind the scenes kind of person, this definitely would have an added weight to it. But also, if you just want the most accurate in-universe Return of the Jedi hilt, this is probably going to be your best bet. But I mean, it's really hard to really tell the differences. I mean, I've spent some time researching them and looking at them, so I definitely know what the differences are offhand. But if you just buy one of these, you're not going to be able to really tell a big difference. So, you know, if you're wanting a hilt used by Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi, or the time between Return of the Jedi and the Last Jedi flashbacks from when the hilt inexplicably changes, either of these is going to be a great option for you. So I hope that this review helped. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Please comment what your favorite version was, if you have a different version, if your favorite version is from '89, Anakin Starkiller. There are a plethora of people who have made this hilt, and they're all fantastic. You know, they're all different in their own ways. So just let me know what you thought of the video and of the hilts. And I hope to see you in the next one. Until next time, thanks for joining me today on 7chambers.